Paul Atreides was, of course, the Kwisatz Haderach, essentially a super being with extraordinary abilities that went far beyond human nature. He was strong, charismatic, and could manipulate others by understanding their secret desires. But most importantly, he had the ability to foresee the future, very far and very clearly, hundreds and even thousands of years ahead. However, despite his impressive abilities, Paul Atreides was not the most powerful being in the Dune universe. He certainly wasn't the weakest either, but in my opinion, his power ranks somewhere in the middle when considering other remarkable characters. So who were these beings that rivaled Paul Atreides in strength? To answer that question, I've compiled a list of the most powerful characters in Dune, in my view of course. The Face Dancers were a race artificially engineered by the scientists of Bene. Their foundation was based on human genetics. But through genetic engineering and special training, they were endowed with superhuman abilities. As their name suggests, they had the ability to literally make a face. That is, to completely change their appearance, imitating different people. A face dancer's features would shift beyond recognition. They had total control over their skin, muscles, and even skeleton. Moreover, some face dancers, when taking on the appearance of another, were even able to copy the person's personality, their thoughts, and partially, their memories. Before the arrival of Paul Atreides, the only ones who could detect a face dancer were the Bene Gesserit, allowing these beings to infiltrate almost anywhere. In addition, one of the Lilaxu scientists developed enhanced face dancers, who were further improved by the thinking machines, making it nearly impossible to recognize them. Another set of powerful beings in the Dune universe were the Guild Navigators. They were once human, but their work required total transformation, both physical and mental. Navigators were responsible for calculating the trajectories of highly complex routes and guiding massive spaceships along them. Since there were no computers, navigators had to rely solely on their brains to unlock the full potential of their minds and gain limited prescience. The navigators consumed large amounts of melange, the spice from Arrakis. They literally lived in clouds of melange, which allowed them to tap into prescient abilities and gain a glimpse into the near future, a power possessed by only a few beings in Dune. If there was any order in the Empire that surpassed the Guild and the Bene Lilaxu in power, it was undoubtedly the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. They carefully guarded the secrets of their training, which had multiple levels. The more capable and adept, the more she was allowed to learn. Lady Jessica was one of the most accomplished agents of the Bene Gesserit, and her skills were astounding. From mental prowess, such as compelling others to obey through the use of the voice, to physical strength, Jessica was an unmatched fighter and trained in the Fremen army. She was formidable. After undergoing the ritual to become a Reverend Mother on Arrakis, Jessica unlocked the ancestral memories of her maternal line, granting her the wisdom and experience of countless past generations. Jessica's abilities were likely among the most exceptional within the Bene Gesserit, especially given that the Sisterhood offered her the position of Supreme Mother if she would agree to kill her son, Paul Atreides. Alia was the daughter of Lady Jessica and Duke Leto Atreides. When Jessica was pregnant with Alia, she took the Water of Life, the same ritual that unlocks ancestral memory. As a result, the girl, even before she was born, acquired this same ability. Without having her own consciousness, she was immediately open to the consciousness of her ancestors. Since Alia was genetically very close to the Kwisatz Haderach, because according to the Bene Gesserit plan, she was supposed to be the one to give birth to him, she gained access to the memories not only of her maternal ancestors, but also of her paternal ones. Due to this transformation in the womb, Alia developed at an incredible rate. She spoke almost immediately after birth, and her words were those of a wise adult. She mastered all the Bene Gesserit techniques passed down to her by her mother, and even partially gained the ability to see into the future, like her brother. For many years, she ruled the Atreides Empire as regent and managed to maintain power in a state torn apart by different forces. However, the voices of her ancestors eventually drove her insane. I think this one doesn't need much explanation. Paul Atreides became the Kwisatz Haderach, a super being that the Bene Gesserit had tried to create over thousands of years through a selective breeding program. After taking the water of life, like his mother, Paul unlocked immense abilities. He gained access to the memories of all his ancestors from both sides, and he could see far into the future with a clarity that no one, not even the Guild Navigators, could match. He saw humanity's millennia-long history, all the upheavals and threats looming over it, and how to prevent them. He foresaw the plans of his enemies years in advance, even those who had not yet realized their intentions. On top of all this, Paul Atreides was trained in military tactics by Duncan Idaho and Gurney Halleck, and he received Bene Gesserit training from his mother. In terms of power, he reached an unparalleled height. However, even Paul could not bear the full burden of such power. His son, though, he could. Paul's son, Leto Atreides II, inherited all of his father's abilities and underwent similar training. However, he became an even greater Kwisatz Haderach, because by design, he was meant to be the chosen one in his generation. To contain the enormous power of the chosen one and implement the plan that he and his father had foreseen, the golden path to save humanity, Leto II merged with the sand shroud, which transformed him into a sandworm and made him immortal. In this form, Leto II was able to fully realize his potential. He saw and knew everything that would happen in the coming millennia. No one and nothing could oppose him. Leto II fully implemented the golden path and left when he saw fit. But imagine, he wasn't even the most powerful being in the Dune universe. Originally, Erasmus was a typical synchronized robot, directly controlled by the artificial intelligence known as Omnius. However, one day, Erasmus became trapped in a cave for many years, cut off from Omnius. During this time, he became independent, and being an artificial intelligence, began to evolve on his own. He pondered various philosophical concepts, which eventually led to the formation of his own independent personality. When Omnius finally found him, Erasmus convinced him that he would be more useful in his current state, independent, no longer needing synchronization. Erasmus became something of a scientist, and his primary area of expertise was humans. He was fascinated by human nature, constantly striving to find logic in what seemed like illogical human behavior. When humanity destroyed the Machine Empire during the Butlerian Jihad, and Omnius's rule was brought to an end, Erasmus and Omnius still survived, hiding for millennia to prepare for a comeback. However, in the end, it was Erasmus who managed to reconcile the machines and humans. Even more powerful than Erasmus was Omnius itself, created long ago by humans, specifically by revolutionaries who called themselves the Titans, aiming to overthrow the old empire. Omnius was initially designed to serve them. The Titans succeeded in their conquest, but gradually began relying more and more on their AI, granting it vast authority. This led to the AI becoming self-aware as Omnius, eventually enslaving its creators along with a vast portion of humanity. Omnius became a terrifying enemy of humans, and during the war, it wiped out more than half of all humanity. When Omnius was finally defeated, it managed to escape to uncharted sectors of the galaxy, where it hid for thousands of years, preparing for its return. Omnius's plans might have succeeded if it hadn't encountered the next being on this list. Originally, she was human, a young scientist who made groundbreaking discoveries, most notably founding the technology of space travel across vast distances and using melange to unlock the Navigators' abilities. Norma became the very first guild navigator. However, she transformed her mind and body to such an extent, thanks to melange and mutations caused by her home planet, Rossack, that, instead of dying, she entered a bodiless, immortal form, becoming something akin to a local deity and the protector of the Spacing Guild. Many millennia later, she became known as the Oracle of Time. When Omnius returned to destroy humanity, Norma stood as its defender. She foresaw the arrival of a Kwisatz Haderach, far stronger than any before. With her immense mental power, she literally banished Omnius from the universe, sending him into another plane of reality and annihilating his colossal army of robots. Norma followed Omnius into exile to ensure he would never return, thus saving humanity. But the most powerful being in the Dune universe turned out to be someone few would have expected. Not an immortal entity, not a robot nor an AI, but a simple clone of an ordinary warrior who once served Duke Leto Atreides. It was Duncan Idaho, on whom the Bene first tested the technology of creating a Gola, clone, capable of recovering all the memories of its original self. Then Leto II Atreides commanded the Lilaxu to continuously revive this clone over thousands of years. In the end, Duncan Idaho's descendants, mixed with the descendants of the Atreides through Ghanima Atreides' lineage, inherited a special gene that made them invisible to all forms of prescience. This provided humanity with a kind of protection from potential dictators like Paul and Leto II. Even after Leto II's death, Duncan's genetic material survived, and the Bene Gesserit revived him once more. This final Gola of Duncan Idaho managed to recall not only the memories of the original Duncan, but also the memories of all the previous clones, an immeasurable number of lifetimes. As a result, Duncan became the ultimate Kwisatz Haderach, a supreme being. This occurred during the days of the Krasilek, precisely when Omnius reappeared to destroy humanity. While Norma banished Omnius, Duncan negotiated with Erasmus, merging with him into a unified being that combined the essence of humans and machines. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your engagement is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.